Hey there, Globetrotters! Welcome back to your Next Stop Travel. I'm Donna, your guide to all things travel and fun. And let me tell you, folks, today we're diving into a region that's near and dear to my heart, the Mediterranean. We're talking about ancient history colliding with modern life, delicious food that'll make your taste buds sing, and vibrant cultures that'll leave you feeling energized. From the sun-drenched beaches of Spain to the bustling markets of Istanbul, we're covering it all. Now, I know what you're thinking. Donna, that sounds amazing, but isn't the Mediterranean crazy expensive? Well, fear not, my friends, because I'm here to show you that you can experience the magic of the Mediterranean without breaking the bank. So, pack your bags, grab your sense of adventure, and get ready to say opa as we embark on this incredible journey together. Barcelona. This city just pulsates with energy. No trip to Barcelona is complete without paying homage to Antoni Gaudí. Gaudi's Sagrada Familia, under construction for over a century. It's like stepping into a fairy tale. And don't even get me started on Park Güell. It's a feast for the eyes. But Barcelona isn't just about architecture, folks. It's about savoring the good life. And what better way to do that than with some tapas? These little bites of deliciousness are perfect for sharing with friends, old and new. And while you're at it, be sure to stroll down La Rambla, Barcelona's most famous boulevard. It's a sensory overload in the best possible way, with street performers, flower stalls, and a lively energy that's contagious. Now, Barcelona, it knows how to party. When the sun goes down, the city comes alive with a vibrant nightlife scene. Whether you're looking for a cozy tapas bar, a swanky cocktail lounge, or a thumping nightclub, Barcelona has something for everyone. Just remember, folks, pace yourselves. You'll want to have some energy left for exploring all the other amazing sights this city has to offer. All right, folks, next stop, Rome, the Eternal City, a place where history quite literally surrounds you. You can't walk a block without tripping over ancient ruins, and that's part of what makes Rome so captivating. And speaking of ancient ruins, let's talk about the Colosseum, shall we? This iconic amphitheater, it's not just a pile of old stones. It's a reminder of Rome's power and grandeur, a place where gladiators fought and emperors ruled. Imagine, folks, the roar of the crowd, the clash of swords, the drama that unfolded within these walls. It's enough to give you goosebumps. And the best part is, you can practically feel the history seeping out of every nook and cranny. Now, a word to the wise, the Colosseum is popular, and I mean really popular. So do yourself a favor and book your tickets online in advance. You'll thank me later. Now, while you're in Rome, make sure to hop over to Vatican City, the smallest country in the world and the heart of the Catholic Church. St. Peter's Basilica. It's an absolute masterpiece. The sheer scale of it, the intricate artwork, it's enough to take your breath away. And speaking of breathtaking, let's talk about the food, shall we? Rome is a foodie's paradise, plain and simple. From mouth-watering pasta dishes to thin-crust pizzas, every meal is a celebration of fresh, flavorful ingredients. And don't even get me started on the gelato. It's like ice cream, but a million times better. Rich, creamy, bursting with flavor. It's the perfect way to cool down after a long day of sightseeing. All right, travelers, we're in Athens, the cradle of Western civilization. And let me tell you, this city has aged well. Think ancient history with a side of souvlaki and a view of the Aegean Sea. Our first stop, the Acropolis, of course. You see that majestic hilltop crowned with those iconic ruins? That's our destination. It's like the ancient Greeks' way of saying, "Hey Zeus, look what we built." Now, getting to the top can be a bit of a hike, especially in the midday sun. But trust me, the view from up there is worth every drop of sweat. Plus, think of it as a free Stairmaster session with a side of history. Once you're up there, take your time. Wander through the Parthenon, dedicated to Athena herself. Imagine the processions, the rituals, the sheer grandeur of it all. You're walking through history, folks, soaking it all in. Back down at ground level, we're headed to the ancient Agora. This was the heart of ancient Athens, a bustling marketplace, a political forum, and a social hub all rolled into one. Imagine Socrates debating philosophy amongst the stalls, or citizens catching up on the latest gossip. Today, you can stroll through the ruins, picturing the energy and the buzz that once filled this space. But Athens isn't stuck in the past. After a day of exploring ancient wonders, treat yourself to a taste of modern Greece. Find a taverna, order up some moussaka and a cold mythos beer, and soak in the lively atmosphere. And don't forget to catch some live music, maybe even a little bouzouki. It's the perfect way to end your day in this city that seamlessly blends old and new. Next stop, Dubrovnik, Croatia. This place is like stepping into a fairy tale, with its medieval walls encircling a city of terracotta rooftops and sparkling Adriatic waters. Now, you can't come to Dubrovnik without walking the city walls. This 2-kilometer loop offers unparalleled views of the old town and the shimmering sea beyond. As you stroll along the ramparts, imagine yourself a medieval guard keeping watch over this strategic port city. You might even recognize some of the filming locations from Game of Thrones. But be warned, those walls can get crowded, especially during peak season. My advice? Go early in the morning or later in the afternoon to avoid the biggest crowds and enjoy those golden hour views. Once you've had your fill of walking the walls, it's time to explore the heart of Dubrovnik's old town. Get lost in the maze of narrow, marble-paved streets lined with charming shops and cafes. Stop for a coffee or a scoop of gelato and soak up the atmosphere. And if you're feeling adventurous, try a taste of the local liqueur, Treverrica. It's a bit strong, but hey, when in Dubrovnik, right? For a different perspective, hop on a cable car up to Mount Search. From here, you'll be rewarded with panoramic views of Dubrovnik, the Elafidi Islands, and the vast expanse of the Adriatic. And if you're looking for a little beach time, head down to Banja Beach, just a stone's throw from the old town walls. It's the perfect place to cool off with a dip in the crystal clear waters. Ciao everyone, and welcome to Venice. This city is like nowhere else on Earth, a floating masterpiece of canals, bridges, and stunning architecture. It's a place where getting lost is part of the adventure. And speaking of adventures, let's start with a gondola ride down the Grand Canal. Sure, it's touristy, but it's also a quintessential Venetian experience. As you glide along the water, imagine yourself back in the days when gondolas were the main mode of transportation. You'll pass under the iconic Rialto Bridge, marvel at the grandeur of the palaces lining the canal, and maybe even get serenaded by your gondolier. Now, gondola rides can be a bit pricey, but hey, you're in Venice. Treat yourself. Just be sure to agree on a price with the gondolier before you hop in, and don't be afraid to haggle a little. While the Grand Canal is undeniably impressive, the real magic of Venice lies in its smaller canals and back streets. So ditch the map, put on your walking shoes, and get ready to explore. Wander through the labyrinthine alleyways, discovering hidden squares, charming bridges, and cozy cafes tucked away from the crowds. And don't be afraid to get a little lost, that's half the fun. Be sure to visit St. Mark's Square, the heart of Venice. It's home to St. Mark's Basilica, the Doge's Palace, and flocks of pigeons. It's a sight to behold, but be prepared for crowds, especially during peak season. And while you're in Venice, you can't miss the chance to try some cicchetti, the Venetian version of tapas. These small snacks are served in bars all over the city and are the perfect way to fuel up for an afternoon of exploring. Hello there, travel enthusiasts. We're in Istanbul, a city that straddles 2 continents, Europe and Asia. This ain't just geography, folks. It's a cultural crossroads where the aromas of cardamom and cumin mingle with the calls to prayer. Our first stop is the Grand Bazaar, a labyrinthine marketplace that's been abuzz with merchants and shoppers for centuries. Imagine a place where you can haggle for everything from hand-woven carpets to delicate ceramics, all under one massive, vaulted roof. It's a sensory overload in the best possible way. Don't be shy about putting your bargaining skills to the test. Remember, haggling is part of the fun here. A smile and a little good-natured back and forth can go a long way. Now let's grab a cup of Turkish coffee. It's strong, sweet, and the perfect fuel for an afternoon of exploration. Prepare to be wowed. This is the Hagia Sophia, a building that's seen it all. Roman emperors, Byzantine emperors, and Ottoman sultans. For over 1,500 years, it stood as a testament to the rise and fall of empires. Step inside, and you'll be greeted by soaring domes, intricate mosaics, and a sense of history so thick you could practically cut it with a knife. It's no wonder they call it the eighth wonder of the world. Welcome to Valletta, the capital of Malta, a tiny island nation with a history as big as its heart. This city is like a time capsule, perched atop a rugged peninsula and surrounded by azure waters. It's a place where honey-colored stone buildings whisper tales of knights and sieges. Our first stop is the Upper Baraka Gardens, offering panoramic views of the Grand Harbor that will leave you breathless. Imagine a fortress city rising dramatically from the sea, with centuries-old bastions guarding its shores. It's a sight that's best enjoyed with a side of Maltese pastizi, flaky pastries filled with ricotta or mushy peas. As you stroll along the narrow streets, keep an eye out for the colorful balconies that adorn many buildings. These enclosed wooden balconies, known as galleria, are a unique feature of Maltese architecture, adding a touch of whimsy to the city's historical charm. Valletta is a city steeped in history, and you'll find evidence of its past around every corner. The Knights of St. John, a Catholic military order, ruled Malta for centuries, leaving behind a legacy of grand palaces and imposing fortifications. One such masterpiece is St. John's Co-Cathedral, a seemingly austere church on the outside that explodes with Baroque opulence within. Every inch is adorned with intricate carvings, gilded details, and colorful marble. And folks, don't miss Caravaggio's masterpiece, the Beheading of St. John the Baptist, housed right here. In the evening, head to the waterfront for a taste of Maltese cuisine. Fresh seafood is a must-try, best enjoyed with a glass of local wine as the sun dips below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. Bonjour from Nice, the jewel of the French Riviera. This city oozes with a charm that's both glamorous and down-to-earth. Think sun-drenched beaches, pastel-colored buildings, and a laid-back Mediterranean vibe that's impossible to resist. Our first stop is the Promenade des Anglais, Nice's iconic waterfront promenade. This is where you come to soak up the city's vibrant energy. Whether you're strolling along the palm-lined walkway, people watching from a cafe, or simply basking in the glorious sunshine. And speaking of art, Nice has a rich artistic heritage. Matisse and Chagall both fell in love with the city's light and colors, and you can see their masterpieces at the Musée Matisse and the Musée Marc Chagall. Take your time, wander through the galleries, and let your artistic side run wild. No trip to Nice is complete without a visit to Vieux Nice, the city's charming old town. This maze of narrow streets and colorful buildings is a feast for the senses. Get lost in the vibrant atmosphere, browse the local shops, and soak up the authentic Niçoise ambiance. Be sure to visit the Cours Soleil, a bustling flower and food market that bursts with color and aroma. It's the perfect place to pick up some fresh produce, local cheeses, or a bouquet of fragrant flowers. And don't forget to try soca, a delicious chickpea pancake that's a local specialty. In the evening, find a table at a waterfront restaurant and savor the flavors of Niçoise cuisine. Fresh seafood, flavorful vegetables, and aromatic herbs are staples of the local cuisine. And of course, no meal in Nice is complete without a glass of chilled rosé. Cheers! Monte Carlo, this place just oozes glamour, doesn't it? It's like stepping into a James Bond film, but instead of chasing villains, you're chasing down the best seafood platter with a view. And speaking of views, the harbor here is something else. Imagine a sea of yachts, each one more luxurious than the last. You might even spot a celebrity or two. Monte Carlo isn't exactly budget-friendly. This is a place where people drop serious euros on designer clothes and champagne brunches. But don't let that scare you off. There are still plenty of ways to experience the high life without emptying your wallet. Take a stroll through the gardens, soak up the sun on Larvado Beach, or simply wander the streets. Half the fun of Monte Carlo is just soaking in the atmosphere. So grab yourself a gelato, find a sunny spot, and watch the world go by. No trip to Monte Carlo is complete without visiting the Casino de Monte Carlo. This isn't your average slot machine and neon lights kind of casino. Marble floors, crystal chandeliers, and gold leaf everywhere. It's the kind of place that makes you want to dress up. Stepping onto those iconic green carpets is thrilling. Even if you're not a gambler, the atmosphere is worth it. But remember, the house always wins. Set a budget and stick to it. Welcome to Cairo, a city that needs no introduction, where ancient history collides with modern energy. Haggle for spices in a bustling souk, then wander through ancient tombs. It's a sensory overload in the best way. The traffic is legendary, the streets a cacophony of sound. But it's all part of the charm. Embrace the chaos, wander down narrow alleyways and discover hidden treasures. Find a local awa, order strong Egyptian tea, and watch the world go by. No trip to Cairo is complete without visiting the iconic pyramids of Giza. These ancient wonders are a testament to the ingenuity of a civilization that thrived thousands of years ago. Standing in their shadow, you feel a sense of awe and wonder. The pyramids are even more impressive in person than in pictures. Pictures can't capture the sheer scale or the feeling of being transported back in time. And that's a wrap on our Mediterranean adventure. From the tapas of Barcelona to the pyramids of Cairo, this region is a treasure trove of sights, flavors, and experiences. And that's what travel is all about, isn't it? Expanding our horizons, embracing new experiences. Until next time, keep exploring and remember, wherever you go, your next stop is always full of surprises. Adios, arrivederci, and safe travels. If you like this video, please share, like and subscribe, and ring that notification bell to be notified when we release new content. It really helps the channel.